Hi everyone, this is the first of a series of videos about conditionals. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the present real conditional. All right, let's get started. So a conditional is a sort of construction that we use to talk about cause and effect. If one thing happens, then another thing will happen. And to show that, we use an if clause and a result clause. Since this video is about present real conditionals, that means we're talking about cause and effect relationships that have a real, true effect. When something happens now, when I do it now, there is always this real effect. So it's the present real, it really happens. Okay, so because it's the present real conditional, in the if clause, which is the cause part, cause effect, in the if clause, I'm going to use a specific verb form. So here's what I would have in the if clause. I would have the verb be in the simple present, and the result clause, I can have the verb be in the simple present, or I can use can or should, or I can use the imperative form to give a command. So let me show you some examples of this. Here, the if clause, now remember, a clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb. So there's two clauses. Each clause needs to have a subject and a verb. And the verb can be these forms. So if it rains, here's my if clause. The verb is in the simple present, and I'm using the word if. If it rains, I always go outside. Here's the result clause. I have another subject and another verb. This verb is in the simple present. So here I'm talking about something happening in the present, meaning it's a general truth. It's a sort of a routine or a habit. We use the present tense to talk about routines and habits, right? So for a conditional in the present real, we're also talking about things that are happening as routines or that are sort of facts or truths or habits. Okay, so if it rains, I always go outside. Every time it rains, I go outside. If it rains, I go outside. Cause, effect, it's real. It happens. It can happen my whole life. It happened when I was young. It happens in the future. It happens now. So it's a general truth or like a habit. Now I could also say, if it rains, you should go outside. Here I'm using the modal should. Should is for advice. I think it's a good idea. If it rains, you should go outside. It's nice. The rain is so nice. Or I can use can. You can go outside. It's fine. You're not going to get sick. It's nice. Or I can use an imperative. If it rains, go outside. Go outside. If it rains, go outside. It's so nice out there. Hey, we live in California. It barely ever rains, so we like the rain here. So that's why I'm saying this. If it rains, go outside. That's an imperative. The imperative form is a command form. It doesn't mean it's a command. It just means that we're using the verb without any subject to give instructions, right? Okay, so that is the present real. Let me tell you something else. You don't always have to use if in the present real. You could also use the word when or whenever. Because when we're talking about like a general truth or something that's a routine or something that's a habit, we're talking about something that happens again and again and again, right? So when is a good word to use to talk about that. So we can say, when it rains, I always go outside. When it rains, you should go outside. When it rains, go outside. Or I could say whenever. Whenever just means if, right? Again, and it's for time. So whenever it rains, every single time, that's what it means. Every time it rains. Whenever it rains, I always go outside. I'm talking about a habit. Whenever it rains, you should go outside. Every time, whenever it rains, go outside. And that's how you can use the present real conditional.